We are going live. I'm going to pull up some stuff. Definitely not the charts because the charts aren't doing anything. But this is another late night Degen session. I have fun doing late night Degen stuff with you guys. So I am back for more. This is an unplanned, unscheduled live stream. I don't know if I'm eventually going to put this as something where it's a regularly scheduled live stream, but so far it's just kind of more or less when I feel like it. So, how's everybody this evening? I hope you all are having a wonderful evening so far. I am having some tea. I said I had raspberry last night. I actually looked at it as blackberry, and today I'm having raspberry. They kind of look the same. So I do Q&A sessions. So if you guys are tuning in, feel free to pop in the chat and say something. I can't see who's here if you guys are just hanging out watching. But if you guys want to add something down below, I would be happy to answer some questions for you. I sure would. I'll put my notes up. I have a live stream show that I do. And so I do notes for my live stream show. You guys, I was super geeking out too. I don't know if you guys are going to even care about this geekiness that I did. But I was talking about a protocol, and like I broke down the diagrams of how all of it breaks out on the chain. And then I do like this like in-depth analysis stuff that I talk about. And then I also break out my show. And I do that every day for my live stream. It's a planned show. Oh, hello, Dreams. Thank you for joining me. You are watching Harry Potter with your kid and now me. That's amazing. Yeah, my kids they do VR. They're both, my daughter is a freshman and my son is 10, and they kind of like live in virtual world. And yeah, so my son stays up kind of late and screams at people, and it's funny because he'll like be smack talking like drunk adults. It's really funny. It cracks me up actually. So which Harry Potter is it? Oh, the Harry Potter Legos, a Harry Potter puzzle. So you're doing, is it a Lego puzzle? Yeah, a lot of Harry Potter going on. Have you been to Harry Potter World? I'm, you have full custody of an 8-year-old. Oh, that's wonderful. I have full custody of mine. They do spend time with their dad, mostly in the summertime, but he moved down to SoCal. Technically in SoCal, but it's more like Central Valley. Like we're kind of on the border of like what would be considered North Cal and SoCal. So any further north, they consider it North Cal. So, and I have moved up north just like an hour up north, and I hated it because I was no longer in the district to be able to see like the Chargers games, Dodger games. All of a sudden it was like all Giant stuff and 49er games and stuff like that. So, yeah. Let's see. Hi, can I give a shout out to you? Hello, Virginia. Hello, Virginia. Oh no, your name says Virginia, but your name is Kinsili. Kinsili? Did I say that right? I hope I did. Oh, thank you, Jen, for saying I'm cute. I do a live stream show talking about crypto every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time. But I like to come on in the evening. I've been calling it like my DGen, just hanging out because I like the vibe in my office in the evening, you guys. I worked really hard. To make it moody in here. So, oh, good. Kinsilla, I'm happy I said your name correctly. Where are you from? I don't know. I feel like you put up a China flag, but I don't know if that was China or not. So I have lived in the US most of my life. I did move to Australia in my early 20s and spent almost 5 years there. And I was kind of like in a construction type background, working in the office and stuff like that. But yeah, I ended up working in groundwater remediation, which was super, super boring. And I just like assisted the project managers with compiling like environmental reports and stuff like that. It was super boring, but I basically call it like a 5 year long vacation because the job just paid me to be able to, travel around Australia. So I got to go to the Great Barrier Reef and I got to go to the Daintree Rainforest and traveled around, saw some really amazing sights. Australia is just a beautiful country. But what it made me realize was that, like, the United States has really beautiful parts of it as well. And lots of countries have lots of beautiful parts. And if you can be a tourist in your own like town in your own country, then it's like you can actually go and appreciate it for what all it has to offer. Because like say people that live in Australia, if they're not being tourists and going to these places that I want to see while I'm there, then it's like I get to see the best parts. And so if I am more like, oh, I want to go to the Grand Canyon and I want to go here and I want to go, there's just different parts of the US that I'd never seen. So when I came back, like I'd never been to New York City. I went to New York City for my first time, spent some time in the Pacific Northwest Territory, which I love the PNW. And yeah, I've just spent more time traveling around the United States. And so, yeah, I love it. I've spent, oddly enough, a ton of time in Texas. I ended up in Texas, like Houston and Dallas, and just outside of Dallas in a place called McKinney, Texas, with some Cardano folks. But yeah, I've kind of done a lot more traveling around the US and just, it's fun to kind of like appreciate it for what we have to offer here. So, what did you say? You wouldn't prefer my Chihuahua? Chihuahuas are cute. Chihuahuas are cute. They can be a little vicious. They can be a little vicious for sure. So, um, have I ever been to North Carolina? I have not been to North Carolina yet. I have been to South Carolina. I went to, let's see, where was that exactly? Charleston. It was in Charleston. They had the Beeple studio there. And so there was that event that I went to, like a bunch of crypto NFT people were there at the Beeple studio. The Beeple studio is amazing. It is like wall to wall screens, and they do a bunch of really cool displays and things like that. And I actually think this next weekend they're having another event there. If you are in North Carolina and if you are like down to go to Charleston next weekend, I don't know if they still have any openings, but if you're in the area, they do. I want to say he might do it locally every month, but for the crypto community, he does a really big event every quarter, I want to say. I want to say it's every quarter because I feel like it's like he'll do it in September and then he'll do it like again in December. And let's see, now we're in March. So yeah, that would stick with the quarter timeline. So I feel like every quarter he has a really, really big event there in Charleston. So if you ever get a chance to go there, it's awesome. Where I live in California, which is in the middle of nowhere, it's like BFE, California. It took me forever. It took like, I think I had like two different layovers and it took me like almost 13 hours. It was crazy. Am I going to Bitcoin Vegas? I am going to Bitcoin Vegas. I booked my hotel through TravelSwap. I paid with Bitcoin. So I will be there. Will you be there, Dreams? Let me know if you will be there because I'm excited. I'm excited about going. The last one was just so, I went to a bunch of conferences and Bitcoin Vegas or Bitcoin Nashville was by far like the most amazing, amazing one that I went to. Oh my God, Nas, did you come in here with a comment like this like last night? I swear somebody came in with a comment like almost exactly like that last night. I feel like you're just, kind of, yeah. Anyway. So what is everyone up to this evening? Tell me what you guys are up to. Tell me what you're up to. I'm just hanging out with you guys right now. In the evenings, I like to kind of relax. I have my tea, having my raspberry tea. It's delicious. Oh, you're going to Vegas in 2 weeks. Wait, okay, that's still dreams. Okay, dreams. So Vegas in 2 weeks, which is like the start of April. So yeah, going 1 month, like going in April and then going again in May. But it is at the end of May, so it's more like a 2 month. It's like 2 months. That is kind of a lot. I used to go to Vegas. So growing up, you guys, I'm going to tell you a whole funny story. So growing up, my parents really were into gambling, especially my dad. My dad loves to go and do like slot tournaments. And so my brother, when he was in college, he got into making fake IDs and he made friends and they were like making these IDs that were like scannable and they had like the real hologram from the DMV. And so he made me this fake ID that looked real, scanned real, had my real information, just changed my birthday. So it was like 100% like you could stop me and look at this, you could scan it, and everything said that I was of age. And I was very, very mature at a young age. So at 17, my parents would take me to Mandalay Bay with them, and they loved Mandalay Bay. That was their favorite casino. And so we would go every 2 or 3 months or so. And so my dad would do these slot tournaments and they would comp our rooms for us. And so while I was there, my older brother, my much older brother, this is my stepbrother, he was like, oh, let me teach you how to play craps because I'll teach you how to play craps and that'll be like something that you'll know how to play. And once you know how to play that, people are never even going to question if you're old enough because like nobody knows how to play craps. So my brother teaches me how to play craps and I took to it like a duck to water. Like I'm not even kidding you guys. Like I just, because I talk about it a lot. I'm really into numerology. My birthday is like, okay, in my family, it's like 9/9, 4/4, 11/11, 12/12. These are all birthdays in my family. So I'm super into like numerology. So throwing dice and going like 8 the hard way with the 4 and the 4, like I totally get that. So you're like play the pass line and back that bet up. You say you're on 8. Okay, so now because I know I'm on 8 and 8's my lucky number, I'm gonna go 8 the hard way as well. And so like I have like all these bets. And so I'm like in high school. So during the week, I'm like at school, going to high school. I think I worked at like Denny's on the weekends. I was like a hostess. And then I would go to Vegas with my parents and I would pretend I had a whole fake backstory that I was 23 and I was a civil engineer. And yeah, and I would drink. Like I would drink and I would get freaking hammered because I was only like 17 and weighed like 115 pounds. Like I was just a tiny little, 17-year-old girl. But so I had rules, right? Like because my parents, they would basically just stay in Mandalay Bay. They wouldn't really leave the casino. And I just couldn't leave Mandalay Bay. At first, like the rule was like I couldn't leave Mandalay Bay, but then as I got older, they were like, it's okay if you go, up. They have the tram that connects to like the Luxor and Excalibur and all that. And so then it was like, okay, as long as I was in any of those hotels, but they didn't really want me like going like out onto the strip and like wandering out at night. But I got really, really good at doing craps. And so I would save up my money from Denny's and I would go to Vegas and with my parents and I'd have just like, I don't know, $200 to last me the whole weekend. But I would go there and I would start to play, and I would just put on my little cocktail dress and my little outfit with my little Cosmopolitan, and I'd throw my $100 bills out there, and I would be like, taking my chips, and I already knew how to play, and the dice would come to me, and I would roll, and everybody would be like, "Oh, Lady Luck is here." I'm like in my tight little red dress, and nobody knew I was freaking 17 years old. Like nobody freaking knew I was 17 years old. It's so funny because my daughter now, she's 15, and she's so sheltered. She still plays with toys and stuff. Like she's just, she went to private school, and I don't really, she's definitely not going to any field parties and getting drunk and stuff like that. So let me read what Dreams said here because I wanted to see. I asked Shibtoshi if the team was going to go months ago, and he wouldn't confirm, but now I know the team is going, and hopefully with a sample of Silent Swap V2. I have friends going too. I'm highly considering postponing the trip to the end of May and possibly going again. Yeah, I think you should go. Dreams, have I met you in person at any of these events? Because I've met like so many of the Squid Grow team, and I don't know all of your guys's like anon names. Yeah. Oh, you guys sent in private school too. Yeah, I think it's important. Like a private school just provides like a solid foundation. My son was in private school, and I have them in public school now. Just because with my daughter's health, it's better for her to be in public school with more resources. But yeah, like my son being in public school, but having that private school foundation, he gets student of the week the first week of school every year now. It's like, and he gets it like multiple times a year. I think he had student of the week 2 times before December. So I was like, that's like crazy. I didn't even know you could have student of the week that much. Hi, Mike Wilmer. Hello. I actually have a mod here. This is amazing. A guy with a wrench. And my guy with a wrench. I'm so happy you're here. I was just telling them stories about how I used to go to Vegas as like a 17-year-old underage person, and I had like a whole fake backstory about being a civil engineer, and that I was 23 instead of 17, and like I was really good at playing craps. So one of my favorite movies, you guys, I love mafia movies. Like mafia movies are one of my absolute favorite things. So I really love the movie Casino, and Sharon Stone's character when she's like at the craps tables and she grabs all of the chips and throws them in the air, and like the pit boss is like all just like in love. Like I totally felt like that was how I was, because and let me tell you, I was going so much because my dad would get into these slot tournaments. So he would go into the slot tournament, and because we would be there for the slot tournament weekends, they would comp our hotel room. So the hotel room was free, and then my parents were paying for everything because the room was like under them. And so I would just like get up in the morning and I would just go play craps. I would play it from like sun up till sundown, and then like even later sometimes. Like one time my mom came to the craps table to pry me off the table at 3 o'clock in the morning. She was like in her nightgown, and she comes to the table, and I'm there absolutely hammered, and I had won so much money. And so I'm like, I need to cash out because my mom was saying she was going to blow my cover about being underage. So I'm like, okay, cash me out, cash me out. So they cash me out, and I go up to the room, and I am giggling, and I am laying $100 bills out on the floor, and I turned like my $200 into like 3,200. And you guys, this is why I'm DJ and I'm in crypto. This 100% makes sense now. But I just remember the next morning I woke up, and I had green felt under my fingernails from scooping chips off of the table all night. So I don't, the last time I went to Vegas, it was like after COVID. I want to say it was like 2022 maybe, and they were not playing. The craps tables were so cold. I think I lost $500 every night, and usually I'd cash out big time on crap. So I was a little surprised that it just did not quite go my way. So I have not gone back to the crap stables in a while. So it will be interesting to see if I hit the tables. But I am a little lucky on the crap stables. So you might catch me at the crap stables. So morning breath kisses are the best. Wow. They're a little smelly but sweet. They're a little smelly but sweet. It is evening here. It is almost my bedtime. I'm doing an impromptu live stream. I usually do a live stream show talking about crypto, politics, economy stuff. So you're welcome to smash a subscribe and join me at some point. So I do those at 1 o'clock Pacific time. But I am doing the DGen late night series just because I'm having fun with it. So thank you for joining us. But my tea is getting cold and I'm going to get back to my evening. So I appreciate you all being here. And Dreams, I hope you make it to Vegas. I would love to meet you. So, because I love the Squid Girl people. They're like my family. So tell Shibtoshi I said that. I'm trying to join you guys. I'm trying to join the posse. I want one of those pink hoodies. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right. You guys have a good night. I will see you all